Welcome to this video. I've got to ask you this question. Does your empathy make you emotionally exhausted? So empathy is such a wonderful, wonderful trait. So you can really feel other people's emotions. You can actually sense what they're going through. You have more, it's beyond compassion. It's a deeper insight. And it's usually a trait of highly sensitive people. So that you can actually feel the energy of somebody else, and you can actually sense their pain, and you can actually really come up with ideas. If you're healthy and you've got your boundaries in the correct place, come up with ideas or suggestions, or even coach them to find the solutions for themselves of their pain or problems. So how do we stop becoming emotionally exhausted as empaths? Because we just want to go out there and help everybody, right? Everybody out there. Look, oh, I've got to go, oh. And your heart is coming in and out like a concertina, because not everybody is of that same wavelength, that same frequency, that same vibration. So you will be meeting people where you try to reach out to help, and you will be cut off at the pass, as it were. You'll be stopped, and that will really hurt. And then you'll have to process that. And because you're an empath or a highly sensitive human being, you have to process everything about that. And that actually takes time, that takes energy, because the brain is very energy, it consumes a lot of energy when you're working your brain. But your heart is like an amazing generator that just keeps pumping out love. So as soon as you get your brain involved, that's when the exhaustion starts to happen. Too much thinking, too much processing, too much analysing. You have to learn to see what things are in front of you, observe them, and then make it easier for yourself. So when you observe what's happened, you can actually respond to it and not react. Because a reaction is you to pull away from a bad situation, analyse it, sometimes for days and days and days on end, and then you'll never come to a conclusion, because you'll think, oh right, I've got it now. You go to bed, you'll be thinking about it, you wake up in the morning, then it'll come up again. You think, no, that's not the best thing I could have done this. And it just keeps going over and over and over again. And that, believe me, is exhausting, I know, because I have been there. These thoughts that never shut up. So let's have a look at what a thought is. What is a thought? When a thought pops into the head, is it big or not? So let a thought pop into your head. See if you can do it right now. Just for a second, take a few breaths. And just let a thought pop into the head. Now don't unpack it. Just let it come in. And then let it go. It's when you unpack that thought. So when you're with this human being who's not on your wavelength, and they've done something to hurt you, offend you, even think they've dissed you even. You will unpack that thought. You won't just think, oh yeah, they've dissed me there. You'll unpack that thought, because you're an empath. It's just how we are. But when you learn to go, okay, they dissed me there, and then you can just not even think about it. Just realise, is there anything I can do in this situation that can make it better? Or am I going to be hurting myself just by going and reacting to it, either by getting really angry and explosive and emotionally overblown at them and just tell them, bang, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. And it's like, whoa, that takes up a lot of energy and a lot of brain power. Or you come away and you assess the situation with your heart, not with your brain, with your heart, and then you see whether it's relevant for you to do anything about that situation or not. It's really important. That's setting boundaries for yourself. So if someone comes in, you can let them in. Yeah, that's easy enough. And you can let them go just as easily. It takes training. It takes training. Now with my Qigong training, I learned to bring my thoughts down into my heart level. And when I first did it, it was like taking a gulp of like food that you just couldn't chew down for years and years and years in my mouth. Chew it. And like a big gulp. And you can imagine that clear feeling. Oh, it's all clear now. Head was clear. It was unbelievable. But the thought process was still in the heart. So it enabled me to realise that I didn't want to actually have a go at this person in front of me, even if they're dissing me. Maybe they're going through a hard day, or they're going through a difficult time, or they're going through emotional exhaustion the same as me. So they're shooting back whatever they can to try and get me away from them. They could be going through that, or they could be a narcissist where I wouldn't want anything to do with them anyway, really, unless they start to change their ways a little bit, or they realise that I'm not a weakling, I'm not a shrinking violet, I'm not going to let them play games around me anymore. So I don't want to attack that. Why do I want to do that? Because that is at war with my own emotions. That's being on the front line of a battlefield, that you're looking at somebody and thinking, right, I'm going to have a go at you. That's not being an empath, that's not being highly sensitive, that's being reactive. So really it's about taking these situations away from that reactive mode, more responding in a loving manner, living through the heart. It's difficult. I personally needed to go through years of Qigong to train myself to be able to do that, and coaching as well. I had coaching, and that's why I've set up the Dream Method with this 5-step process. When I analysed what I actually went through to get me to this position, I analysed it and I came up with, I discovered what the negative cycles were and why I kept reacting in such an explosive manner all the time. Then I realised, remembering past childhood memories and remembering the reactions I got now, I realised that I didn't have to be that way. I didn't want to be that way, actually. So then I realised that what I want to do is embrace everything. I want to embrace life. I want to love life. I want to love humanity. And of course there's people who are around who don't want that. So that's fine, you just leave them be where they are. You don't have to save everybody. You can't save everybody. You're here actually to save yourself. So, but you can embrace other human beings who are on a much similar path. And when you actually start to tune into that vibration, some of the old friends that don't really serve you will start to drift away anyway, naturally. They say, well, you're not the same person I used to know. You're no fun anymore. Okay, well, that's fine. If that's how you feel, that's okay. So that's when you start to embrace it, and then you start to actualize the life you want. This is still the Dream Method. This is the 4th step of the Dream Method, where you can take everything you've learned from your discovering, your realizing, your embracing. Now you're actualizing what you actually want, because you've healed all the elements of your lower chakra system, your lower danjon, we call it in Qigong. And you come up into the heart now, so you've got the power and the passion from the lower chakras. You've got the embracing, the loving, the compassionate, empathetic feeling of the heart that's no longer coming in and out like a concertina. You're actually using your heart properly to respond to life rather than react. And then you master, which is coming up now into your pineal gland, your 6th chakra, your upper danjon, where you master your life and you have a vision for what's happening. So many highly sensitive people that I've coached or even just had as friends see things so deeply when they're balanced, when the whole system, the energy system is balanced, which is why I think it's so important for all of us to do the inner work, which is why I say journey inwards, succeed outwards. It's such an important thing to do. And then you're balanced, you see everything. You have the power, the passion, the love, the creativity, the vision, the insight and the wisdom to actually live a very successful life. So that's what you can do if you're an empath and you're struggling with emotional exhaustion, is actually turn that, flip that pyramid back into the position that you want it and say, right, okay, what do I actually want to do with my life? Where am I going with this? What kind of people do I want to hang out with? Where are these people? Can I actually connect with them? And that will start to roll out in the most incredible way when you actually do that, when you start to reach out without judgment, just as observation. And it really happens, believe me. It's happened for me. Why can't it happen for you? Of course it can. So if you want to know a bit more about what I do, you can click the link around this video or find the Dream Method wherever you're looking at this video from, and just watch that webinar. It's at peterpaulparker.com. You can watch the webinar, it's free, and that goes through the 5 steps of the Dream Method, and that will help you build these tools up, which they're tools inside of you to make you live this worthy life, I should say, worthy life, full of passion, full of power, full of love, full of empathy, full of insight, full of vision. You can do it. and I want that for you too. If you're an empath and you're truly highly sensitive, I want that for you too. So just find the link for the Dream Method, click the link and watch the free webinar. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Till then, be well, keep shining.